Howdy. Gonna give you a little tour of the work that I've done on the boat and things that I'm still working on. Getting pretty close to the end, but we'll start here in the cockpit. Down here in the cockpit locker, we have very important things. I installed a couple of fuel tanks. Yeah, 50-gallon fuel tank down in there. I've got one in this locker. Got another one down in this locker. And it's all plumbed to the existing fuel tank at the bottom of the boat. Also in the cockpit, we've got this fancy new GPS that I've installed. And autopilot hooks onto the wheel here, this part here. Got a motor down there and a control head right here that you use to control the direction you're going to go. Down here in the cabin is one of the control modules for the autopilot, and over here you'll see the flux capacitor, which, as you know, is what makes time travel possible. Over here at the nav station, we've installed a satellite communication system along with this big antenna on the back of the boat. It's wired up to the front of the boat, so I can send email and texting, and I can make phone calls if I have to. Up on deck, we've got a radar dome up there that I hired a couple of guys to get up there and put in for me. That was a little bit beyond my desire to climb that pole. And while we're here on deck, a couple of future projects. There's the dinghy. It's an inflatable dinghy, and then there's an 8-man life raft right here. I've got to figure out a way to mount those things so they don't get washed away in the heavy seas. Here's the back side of the electrical panel. I've been spending a lot of time back in here rewiring, adding new circuitry for all the electronics I mentioned. In each of the cabins, I installed a little car charger location here so that you can run your devices from the comfort of your cabin. In one of the aft cabins, I've got an inverter. It's a power inverter. It takes battery power and turns it into household current so you can run blow dryers and such. And there it's just temporarily wired into these batteries. But eventually I'll be putting it behind here. Found a nice little hidey hole to throw that inverter in, so no matter where we are, we'll always have some household power. Now beneath the steps here is a very important thing, the engine. And that requires regular servicing, so I've replaced the fuel filter, and the oil and oil filter, and so that should be about ready to go. Got a baggie here full of parts that are going to go into the toilet, because there's nothing worse than having a toilet at sea that doesn't work properly. And this little job doesn't look like much, but there's a clip down here that's missing a piece, so it doesn't stay closed. Now, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but around Greece, trying to find a part like that can take me half a day. And here's a little typical condition of many things on the boat. This ladder's been welded together a few times over the years, and they've unfortunately not put any kind of thing there to keep it from getting smashed. So I have a lot of little repairs to do around the boat. So those things, along with 20 other little things I didn't mention, are what's keeping me busy. One of the huge things that I didn't really mention is the technology side of it. This is not my first attempt at doing a GoPro video. I've crashed and burned many times. I got a notepad the other day, which I'm trying to upload programs to, figure out how to interface it with everything. The GPS radar stuff is also wireless, so the satellite system was a pain in the rear to try to figure out. I think I've got that kind of squared away. Anyway, the technology is a little bit daunting, but I'll figure it out. See you later.